I used to be close to Lena, really close. We shared everything, laughed at the dumbest jokes, and stayed up talking about life. But somewhere along the way, I started pulling back. I told myself I was just giving her space, that maybe I didn't need to be so attached. But I was lying. I was scared of what would happen if I told her how I really felt. Over time, the distance grew, and I convinced myself it was fine. She was busy with her own life, and I had my own stuff. But every time I saw her, it hit me, the regret. I should have said something sooner, done something before we became strangers. Now, I don't even know how to fix it. I miss her, and it hurts knowing I let this slip away without ever trying. Months passed, and I still couldn't shake the feeling that I'd lost something important. Then, one day, I ran into Lena at a coffee shop. It felt like a dream, like I had stumbled back into a time I thought was lost forever. Leave a like and subscribe for part 2. We stood there, both a little unsure, but she smiled, that same warm smile that made everything feel right. We started talking like we never stopped, picking up the conversation as if no time had passed. I apologized, told her how much I regretted drifting away. She was quiet for a moment, then told me she'd been waiting for me to reach out, that she'd missed me too. From that day on, we were inseparable again. The connection was still there, stronger than ever. I don't know when it happened, but somewhere along the way, we fell in love. It felt like fate, like we were meant to find each other again. I hope you, the reader, will take the risk like I should have done and let them know. Don't let fear or hesitation keep you from saying what's in your heart. Some connections are too important to lose, and sometimes, all it takes is one moment of courage to bring them back. If you're thinking about them, reach out before it's too late. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe as there are many more to come.
I sat at the dinner table, my hands shaking around my fork. The silence felt heavy, broken only by quiet glances between my parents. My mom finally spoke, her voice thick with disappointment. "We didn't raise you to forget who you are, Maria. You can't just throw away your heritage like that." I felt my stomach drop. My dad joined in, his tone sharp. "He's not one of us. He won't understand our ways." I wanted to argue, to tell them how much Jason meant to me. But the words wouldn't come. Instead, the sharpness of their rejection filled my chest with a cold ache. I had known they wouldn't approve, but hearing it out loud, it was different. My mom's eyes were full of disappointment, my dad's face hard with anger. It was clear they couldn't see past the color of Jason's skin, and it felt like they couldn't see me either. I opened my mouth to speak, but my voice faltered. "I thought you loved me for who I am," I whispered. There was no answer, just the sound of my heart breaking a little more. As the years went by, the weight of my family's words never fully lifted. I grew more distant from them, feeling their love was conditional, tied to my conformity. The resentment I carried grew like a quiet fire, always simmering beneath the surface. Jason, though, never judged me. He simply loved me for who I was. Over time, I stopped caring what my family thought. Their approval no longer mattered. We continued dating in secret at first, but soon I couldn't hide the joy he brought into my life. I refused to let shame define me any longer. With Jason by my side, I found the strength to stand up for myself, to be proud of my choices. Eventually, we moved away, starting fresh in a place where love wasn't bound by rules. It was a new chapter, one where happiness thrived, and I no longer carried the burden of my family's judgment. We were free, and for the first time, I was truly at peace. The years following that night at the dinner table were long and heavy. Jason and I built a life together, but a part of me always felt the absence of my family's acceptance. We had our beautiful children, a reflection of both of us, yet I couldn't shake the sorrow that lingered in my heart. Every milestone, every joy felt bittersweet, because my parents were missing. The gap between us seemed impossible to bridge. I raised our kids with love, but I always wondered, would my family ever accept us? Then, after all these years, I got a message. My parents were reaching out. They apologized, truly, deeply apologized, and wanted to meet. They had come to realize the mistakes they made, the pain they had caused, and how wrong they had been. It wasn't easy to process, but I couldn't ignore the possibility of healing. We met, and for the first time in years, my parents held their grandchildren. There were no perfect words, but there was hope, a chance to rebuild what was lost.